Okay, look at my eyes. 4 days later, they're still red, but I went to see the doctor yesterday and she said, yes, your eyes are irritated from that black locust dust. And what I did was, after I was done, I cleaned up with the leaf blower, and I used the leaf blower to blow off my shirt and everything, and there was particles all over the place. So I think with the leaf blower and all the particles got in my eyes. So guys make these Black Locust staves all the time. And then I started watching, and some guy, and then you see them in the videos, they're using gloves, they're sanding, some guys have masks, you know. So I'm telling you right now, mask, gloves, eye protection, be careful, don't blow the dust around, you know what I mean? But I was going to either just take these and put them back in the woods and let nature have its way with them, or I didn't want it to go to waste. So I'm going to take one of these staves and I'm going to prep it and try to get it down to a growth ring and just see what it looks like. And if it looks okay with my protection, I have gloves, I actually have goggles. You know, one guy said the other day, oh, that's what happens when you use, you know, when you don't use just a draw knife. Well, that's all I used the other day was a draw knife. That's all I used, and that's mostly what I'm going to use today. The draw knife, okay, other than the saw. And I used the draw knife, and what it was I think the leaf blower got to me. Okay, so I'm prepared today. I'm going to take my time, get a draw knife, and I'm going to take off this sapwood and just see what happens. I'm going to be very careful not to even touch it, but I can't see it sitting there and going to waste. After I remove the bark and most of that sapwood, now I'm down here like this, scraping. And what's underneath that little bit of sapwood that's left is very hard, and the knife slides across just like hardwood. So what I'm trying to decide is if that's not sapwood because it slides, maybe I'll draw out a bow and leave this here. This is, you know, the draw knife just slides over it. Leave this as a natural backing because this is the sapwood here, look. And then once the sapwood's gone, it's sliding over this hardwood. Alright, so I'm going to take a wild guess and say that this will be adequate to make a bow out of. So we're going to find out. Once again, under the sapwood layer, the draw knife just slides over this hardwood. So what I'm going to do, since there's nothing coming off of this anymore, it's sliding right over that back. I'm going to use that as the backing of the bow. I don't know if anybody ever did that before. But, you know, I'm just going to make sure no more sapwood slides off, and it don't. Look how it slides over that. Okay? I'm going to lay out a bow, cut it, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, stave 2. I want to get rid of all this sapwood on these staves here, get right down to this hardwood. They say that the leaves and bark and sapwood are the worst part as far as the poison and irritant. So I'm going to clear off these 2 staves here and lay them out and maybe trim them up. And I told my friend Jack Monty if he wants, he could have the other one. And but I want to try and get rid of some of what I believe to be the bad stuff, all right, today, by removing some of the sapwood and trimming them and getting a rough layout. Okay, then it'll be up to him if he chooses to pick the stave to work it. Okay, I trimmed out the top profile so far. It looked pretty good. All I have to do is trace out the sides and trim them. And really being careful with goggles and mask, and I'm going to be especially careful when I empty that shop vac too, to make sure I don't get any dust particles anywhere near me. Well, I dressed up like I was going to a hazmat disaster. I had my goggles, I had my mask, I had my gloves, and there was either take these staves that I had, these beautiful Black Locust staves that my eyes are still bloodshot from, and take them and throw them in the woods and let them rot, or dress up, protect myself, and shape them into bows. So anyway, I called my friend Jack Monty up, and I says, oh, I got 2 staves. I'm going to shape them up, and one's yours, the taller one's yours, and this one's mine. You can do what you want, but I wanted to shape them up. I heard that the sapwood was pretty much an irritant, you know, and I got it down. The interesting thing was when I was using a draw knife, and I got down, and the sapwood itself came off. There's like a whitewood, like a sapwood here. This is hard as a rock. The draw knife was sliding over this, and only that light sapwood came up. So I said, I'm going to use this as the back of a bow, as the back of the bow. I says, and we're going to see how it turns out. And look, it looks pretty good, right? Right? Taller ones for Jack, the shorter ones for me. Okay? And I'm going to put these in the corner of my garage, and then I'm going to dress up like Hazmat Man again, and I'm going to empty out my shop vac. I cleaned the bandsaw, cut up the wood, cleaned everything, goggles, everything, and the shop vac's getting clean now. And then I'm done for the day. I'm going to decontaminate myself. All right, so have a good day. More to come. Okay, I'm all done. Took a nice hot shower, and for part 3, I'm going to heat treat the bow with a heat gun and put it on a backset jig. I'm not sure if I'm going to recurve it or not yet. I'm undecided. And then at some point it'll go on the jig to be fire hardened, whether it's the backset jig or the recurve jig to be fire hardened. And then tillering, and we're going to hopefully shoot it. All right, so all that's to come. That'll be in part 3.